Hi, I'm Jamie Davidoff of Spark Success, where our mission is to empower leaders of leaders and HR leaders, people aspiring to be leaders of leaders, to gain in confidence, influence, and impact for themselves and their teams to create outstanding results and positive impact. And in times like this, as we're navigating coronavirus and many other different moving pieces in our world, that can include things like navigating uncertainty, finding stability and focus for ourselves and our teams while things are spinning around us. So, the topic today is diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're hearing a lot about this. It applies to so many different areas of life and leadership, and there's so many different ways that we can be diverse. So I just want to share today simply what is meant by diversity, equity, and inclusion, because these are three different topics that are lumped into one phrase. And then the second video that I'll record in a bit will be about how you can work with diversity, equity, and inclusion in your organization or in your role as a leader. So one of the things I wanted to share is if we look at just our DNA, all humans are 99.7% the same. And in fact, I've seen figures up to 99.9% the same. So genetically, by DNA, we are very, very similar. And yet there are many things that we do that create this sense of inequity, I would say, or sometimes we embrace the diversity and really benefit by that. So let's look at that. I'm going to be doing a fair bit of reading here, so you'll see me looking down because I want to get the definitions right. I am not the expert. I've looked and researched on this to come up with some others definitions that I think are very helpful. So why is this even a topic? Well, even though we're 99.7% the same, part of us as humans is to make sense of information and to be efficient about that because there's so much information coming at us at any given time. And what this creates is overgeneralization. And that overgeneralization that we do in support of making sense of so much information and in trying to be efficient with it and do something with it are based on our upbringing, our experience, and our beliefs. And so we really, in order to embrace diversity, be equitable, and be inclusive, we need to be aware of what our biases are based on our experiences, beliefs, and upbringing. So I'm going to be calling this DE&I just to shorten the phrase. But generally, what it means is it outlines the efforts of an organization to create a more welcoming environment for people of less privileged identities. So that can be identities relating to so many different things, and I'm just going to give a few examples here. So we've got gender, we've got gender preference, we've got race, we've got social status, financial status, positions within an organization, and so forth. And those are just a few of, I'm sure, hundreds of areas that we could be thinking about. And so diversity, equity, and inclusion, as I mentioned earlier, are three different things. So I'm going to read the definitions here for you. So diversity includes all the ways in which people differ, encompassing the different characteristics that make one individual or group different from another. So that's what I was just mentioning, the race, ethnicity, gender, and so on, differing abilities. And equity is the fair treatment of access, opportunity, and advancement for all people, while at the same time striving to identify and eliminate barriers that have prevented the full participation of some groups. So it's more of an action. So improving equity involves increasing justice and fairness within the procedures and processes of institutions and systems, as well as their distribution of resources, who gets what and why. And then inclusion is also an action. It's the act of creating environments in which any individual or group can be and feel welcomed, respected, supported, and valued to fully participate. So an inclusive and welcoming climate embraces the differences and offers respect in words and actions for all people. And so, I mean, this could be simple as having an in and out group or a favorite group or a group that gets to do things that others don't get to do. And obviously we can't all do the same thing within an organization, but if one group consistently is getting more privileges than others, for instance, that could be feeling unwelcome for other people. So taking into account diversity, equity, and inclusion, when we can act on those in a positive way, actually benefits the whole. It increases engagement, it increases collaboration, it increases productivity and return on investment. So there's some really good reasons to be looking at this. There was a quote here from Verna Myers, an analogy, and it is, diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. Diversity is often thought of as being quantifiable by measuring who is represented in an institution. And inclusion can be measured through qualifiable data, looking at the attitudes and people's perceptions of how welcoming the organization is. So there's another author here, Robin Shabazz, and this is her definition. Diversity includes all the multiple identities of employees across visible and invisible characteristics. Inclusion is how we leverage the experiences of our diverse workforce. Equity is a systemic elimination of barriers, providing fair treatment, access, and opportunity for all to succeed. So I know I've done a lot of reading today, but I wanted to give you something that is really clear and succinct from people who, you know, live and breathe this work every day. So I hope this provides you with some better context of what is meant by this topic. And it's a big topic. It's getting spoken about a lot. And so that gives you a little bit clearer understanding, perhaps, if you didn't have one before, of what it means. Stay tuned for the next video where I'll explain some ways to consider to start working with your people in your organization on this. So until then, I wish you well, and I'd love to talk with you about this and other things that you might be thinking about right now, like navigating uncertainty, resilience, things like that. Please just contact me. My information will be on this video as well. Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye-bye.